investor and corporate. Welcome to SET Digital Roadshow 2021 Year-End Performance Review. This section will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the section by 30-minute presentation, followed by 15-minute Q&A. And during Q&A, investor may leave your question in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. Then we will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. So may I now invite R&B Food Supply Public Company Limited to start the presentation, please. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Thanks for joining RBF or R&B Food Supply Company Public Limited. So let me show the presentation for last year performance of RBF. Let me go for all the detail of RBF, just in case anyone doesn't know about RBF before. So the company started more than 30 years back, first launched in 1985. We, at that time, were a joint venture with Bushbox Island, which is a flavor house from UK. And at that time, BBA was the second largest flavor house in the world. So after BBA was taken over by International Flavor and Fragrance, or IFF, from the US, then we spin off and run the business for flavor since then. So after that, RBF just keep expanding into food ingredient business, but we intend just to focus in all the value added, high value added food ingredient, or we call smart food ingredient. So we don't sell salt, we don't sell sugar, but we sell something more advanced. Not only the food ingredient that we produce ourselves, we also have some product that we import, and mostly will be the product that cannot be produced in Thailand, especially for sausage casing. So RBF also have some part of trading goods, which the size would be like number 3, about 15% of the total revenue of RBF. Not only the trading product, but RBF in 2002, we also have the factory in Chiang Mai, north of Thailand, called Premium Food, and that company will focus in dehydrate product and frozen product. And after that, we keep expanding food ingredient into our neighbor in Vietnam, in Indonesia, and keep expanding. And right now, we start to have some office in Guangzhou, China, office in Japan, office in Singapore, and 2 factories in Vietnam and Indonesia just completed last year and right now already start running. Last year also in June, in the past, the group had 2 hotels in the group. So last year in 1st June 2021, we disposed the hotel business from the group. So right now RBF will be just only 100% food ingredient company. This is the structure that we have right now. The company in Thailand will be 4 subsidiary in the gray boxes, and other subsidiaries in the blue boxes are overseas company. And also this year we will have another new company which is a JV company with Thai Union Group and Avanti Group in India. So the chart will be updated later after we finish the registration. So RBF, we work in food ingredient for long-term experience, and we have a learning curve for long history. So a good team of R&D know-how, technology, with variety of formula or recipe or many solutions for customers. So we now just like one-stop shop for customer for a complete solution to their products. RBF, we have 10 factories right now, 8 factories in Thailand in the first and second columns, and the third columns will be the factory in Vietnam and Indonesia. This year we will start the second factory in Indonesia because the first one last year already ran at full capacity. So the second factory should be ready within this year or first quarter next year. So we hope that in first half next year we should be able to start running the second factory in Indonesia. When we talk about RBF, we have 6 categories of the products. The two largest categories that RBF sells and produce will be flavor and food coatings. For flavor, since we were joint venture with a UK company, so we are just only one Thai company that can produce flavor ourselves, flavor and fragrance. So we supply flavor for food and beverage for whatever we can eat and consume into body. But for fragrance, we supply to some consumer product like soap or detergent or alcohol gels. For food coating is what we produce and supply to many food factory, especially for like poultry or chicken or seafood. Food coating will be whatever we put into food to improve appearance, to improve taste, texture, colors. We call all of these other food coatings. So we have many sub SKU in other food coatings, not only breadcrumbs, not only premix, not only seasonings, but we have many others in the same group. The third largest group will be trading products here, which about 80% here in trading product will be sausage casings. And we also have food additives supplied to the sausage factory or poultry factory in Thailand as well. On the right-hand side, 3 categories. They are still small, dry product and frozen product and the plastic packaging. These 3 categories will contribute roughly about 10% of the total revenue RBF. We also have some retail brand, but all the retail brand here we supply to the household wife, kiosk, restaurant, side street cooking, but it's not a ready-to-eat food that we supply to the consumer to customers. So this brand, we also registered new brand in Indonesia as well, just to expand our retail market in Indonesia, which called King Bread. We just finished the registration last year. So this year we will have more revenue from retail product in Indonesia. And in Vietnam also have a new distributor, big distributor, just to expand our retail product in Vietnam as well. For our financial performance last year, in terms of top line, this revenue, last year under COVID-19, at the beginning of the year, last year we expected that we should be able to achieve around 10 to 12, but after the COVID-19 prolonged for the whole year, then we still can have a growth last year, about 8.5% growth, which in Thailand we have just only about 4% growth whole year. But the main contribution that bring up the growth of RBF will be from overseas business, which this part will especially from Vietnam and Indonesia. In Vietnam last year, we can make a growth about more than 30% growth for the revenue. Indonesia, we can make a growth more than 60% growth for the revenue. So when we look at the total, become 8.5% growth for the revenue. And if you look back, go to the 6th category now, we can see that the 2 main categories, which is flavor and food coating, these 2 groups will contribute about 75% of the total revenue. Just only last year that seems to be flavor and fragrance a little bit drop compared to food coating. The percentage, the portion from flavor will be less compared to the year before. But normally, actually, last year, flavor and fragrance still make a growth about 1% in terms of sales. But the portion changed because the food coating last year, we make a good contribution, and we can expand the business for food coating a lot last year. Especially if we look at Q4, food coating become almost, I think, around 42.53%. The contribution will be more on food coating compared to flavor, drop to 30%. So we expect that the flavor business, the contribution from flavor should be back this year, because most of the customer in this group will be all the beverage. Some will be from food, but mainly will be from beverage. So I think this year, especially Q1 and Q2, flavor and fragrance should be back, and the portion here should be go to the back normal level, around 35-36% for flavor, and food coating maybe around 36 or 37%. The main business of RBF, we supply to manufacturers. So we have a small part from retail. We sell through modern trade and sell through retailers. But main business will be what we deal with the factories or the manufacturers, especially for food and beverage. So about 85% will be supplied directly to all the manufacturers. And the expense for selling expense and administrative expense of RBF normally we range in the past is about 20-22% of the revenue here. Right now will range between 19-20% for the revenue for SG&A, and this should remain at this level for the next 2 or 3 years. But for the gross profit margin, the problem last year will be on Q1 last year. We had an impairment loss from hotel business, about 60 million Thai baht, or about $2 million US, and that bring down the profit of RBF in first quarter last year. And also in Q4, we can see the drop in gross profit margin here, mainly come from last year. In second half last year, we had a problem with the cost of raw material increase, especially for two main group, flavor and food coating. Both group each had a cost increase about 5%-6%. That's why that bring down the gross profit margin of RBF in Q4. And also because of the shift in portion of product, 6 categories. Each category has its own different gross profit margin. So when the contribution of 6 group change, also impact to the GP level change as well. Anyway, with the cost increase last year, we start to increase and adjust the price to the customer, pass through some price to the customer since January this year. So we expect that at least roughly it should be able to get back 5-6% for the recover from the cost increase. And if you look at the net profit margin as well, for the whole year, the impact comes from the impairment loss from the hotel business, $2 million US. And in Q4, the drop come from the GP drop, and we expect that this year the GP level should be back and better than Q4. In this part, may I skip this part? There's nothing significant here, or if you have any question, you can ask me later. And also for the key financial ratio, just only the cash cycle that has been improved continuously for 3 years and become about 90 days in 2021, and we expect that we can keep around 90 days until 100 days for the year 2022. For the return on asset and equity, here the drop, also the main impact comes from the impairment loss from the hotel business. And of course, this year there will be no impairment loss from the hotel anymore. And the debt position of RBF, we still have very low DE ratio. So RBF still has a very strong financial situation to expand more in the future. So this year, what we expect that for the whole year, what should be the growth that we expect this year? We look at the top line, and it should be around at least 10-15% growth for the top line, without not include the hemp project, the hemp products, and not include the new business in India that we're going to register the company in India, and that would be the upside that we have to wait and see for the result of that. But anyway, with the organic growth, the 10-15% should be able to achieve this year. And in domestic, we still have some progression for many projects, especially after the COVID-19. We can see the trend that customer getting to start and develop many new more projects and development for many projects. And of course, we have to pass or increase some flavor, but we have to negotiate case by case, item by item to each customers. For flavor, for plant-based, we keep supplying this part for the customer, but again, we keep insisting that I think for 2 years already that plant-based still small business. I mean, it's a good future growth, but it's not a big significant impact, or it's not mass or a big portion yet in Thailand or in Southeast Asia. But anyway, our customers still keep developing product with the plant-based. So RBF, we can supply any flavor like chicken flavor or fish flavor, and it's not come from the real meat, but it's a flavor that we simulate to make it the taste of flavor same as real meat. And also our partner SEG San from Japan, since they become one of our shareholders, and we work together as a partner. So they will now just start sending the team so that we can work in Japanese customer in Thailand and Japanese customer in this region, so that we can expand the business with them together. And of course, some item already passed to produce under RBF Thailand instead of produce under our partner in Japan, and that would be the benefit for RBF as well. For global, our sales team in Singapore already got start to get some a good customer for fragrance since Q4 last year. So we have some a bigger contribution for fragrance from Malaysia and Indonesia this year. That is the result from the Singapore office. And for the Vietnam, we can see sign of recovery because we already export flavor to Vietnam, and under COVID-19, the sales quite dropped because of the COVID-19, the shutdown in Vietnam. But now we can see the trend that after the recovery, and we can fly and visit customer more, we can work in Vietnam, in Indonesia to expand our flavor business. And for the food coating, of course, we still have to increase the price, and already start since January this year. We can see the trend that many customers start to develop product for EU, for other countries. Overseas customers start to develop new project. And of course, in Thailand, we work closely with our partner, Thai Union, so that we can develop many projects together. And that would be some result that we can see. I think second half this year, we can see some result. For global, in Vietnam, we still have a big growth there, and we still can see the growth in Vietnam. I think this year should be at least 20% growth should be achievable. Indonesia, still always better than Vietnam. The growth is bigger because over there, even domestic consumption and population there is much more than the Thai population or Vietnam population. So the market size over there keep expanding. Actually, the percentage growth in Indonesia is better than Vietnam as well. So we still keep and hope that Vietnam and Indonesia this year can keep expanding as we expected. And also this year, we start to expand some facility in Vietnam and Indonesia so that we can produce the higher profit margin product in food coating in both countries. Instead of shipment from Thailand, we can produce in Vietnam and Indonesia itself. And then in Thailand, we will have some capacity left so that we can use this capacity to supply other region, and including the Indian project that we're going to set up. So Indonesia right now already run at full capacity. So we hope that for the new factory should be ready very soon so that we can expand and serve the market there more. And this would be my part. We may go to the Q&A, or if you have any question, let me, or any in the chat box, or you can raise your hand.
We still have about 20 minutes for Q&A. If you have any question, please feel free to drop us a question to the chat box or raise your hand.